Returning from his assignment in Haiti, Redlands Fire Chief Jeff Frazier may not look any different, but he is thinking differently about preparing Redlands for a major disaster. We sat down with him recently. How does sending an official like yourself to a disaster site in another country benefit your department and city?
Well, anytime any member of the department or any fire department is given the opportunity to respond to a disaster in somebody else's jurisdiction, we get the opportunity to see and function in that environment and bring back that knowledge and experience to our local agency. I'm blessed to be a member of what's called a FEMA, Urban Search and Rescue Incident Support Team. It's kind of a long name, and that's why they call it a USAR IST. And our goal is to facilitate the emergency operations for the heavy rescue teams during disasters. This is the first time they've ever gone international, and there were a lot of issues to address. But overall, I think it was an unprecedented rescue effort outside the country, and one that not only the United States but all the other countries that participated should be very proud. That was another interesting aspect, was getting to see rescue teams from Poland, Belgium, Germany, France, all great people. And I can tell you, while there were a few ruffled feathers at the state level, that where the rubber met the road, at the point of the spear, the rescue workers that were there worked side by side, harmoniously, and collaborated for the most part in helping make the situation better. Shared equipment, shared experience, and for that we're blessed.
What did this trip cost the taxpayers of the city of Redlands? Absolutely
nothing, other than through their federal taxes, I should clarify. The Federal Emergency Management Agency actually contracts with individual fire service members across the country and provides complete reimbursement for all the costs, including overhead fees for the cost and time for preparing the statement. So in essence, my response ended up being a unpaid furlough from the city's perspective, and will end up saving the department money. It's actually some of the savings that we're capturing as part of our deficit reduction plan.
In what ways did what you experienced differ from the reports we all saw on TV?
It's one thing to watch a television documentary that depicts terrible conditions, but when you see the actual faces or talk to people there, it brings it home. And I know I'm going to be more involved in supporting international causes, because we are so blessed here that some of the simplest things, I walk down the street now and take pleasure in a sidewalk, a curb, trees that are not covered with dirt or debris, and I just would encourage people to reach out to the rest of the world, and I'm hopeful by this response. This is actually the unprecedented response of emergency personnel to another country.
You mentioned you acted in mostly a supervisory role and that you witnessed numerous acts of heroism. Tell us about that.
Well, the environment there, you have to understand the structures that our personnel were operating in. It's a completely different style or form of construction that is certainly not as reliable as what we focus on or experience here in the United States. So just merely entering those environments, they were placing themselves in significant danger. And because of there was so much loss of life that many of the rescues were quite gruesome. And I have to tell you that I'm very proud of the actual rescue workers that place themselves in harm's way and expose themselves to such terribly gruesome environments to try to bring live people out of that wreckage.
Did the devastation there cause you to look at structures differently here at home?
I came up with a phrase, it's hug your local building official, because really sometimes I think people resist some of the regulations and feel like they're overburdensome, but the fact is the construction that met American standards there withstood the earthquake very, very well. The embassy had virtually no damage, but the buildings all around it were collapsed, and it speaks well to our building codes. And We put extra time and effort into our buildings here, and we're safer for it.
Based on what you experienced in Haiti, what, if any, changes will you make to your department?
There are a number of things any fire chief, I could fill a wish list that would boggle the mind, I'm certain, but training of our personnel is probably one of the things that we've had to tighten our belt most on, and I'm really want to focus on getting our personnel exposed to as many different learning environments as possible, because it's your people that make you or break you.
Is Redlands ready?
We can never be prepared enough for any fire chief's going to tell you that the next fire season is going to be worse than the last, and we're being honest. We actually are concerned about the preparedness of our communities. So I'm going to say no, we're not ready. We always need to keep this focus that professionals that are paid to provide the services, our firefighters and police officers, are trained and equipped, and that our community is prepared both as individuals and joins things like their community emergency response teams, and or gets CPR training, first aid training, so that they're ready to help themselves until the emergency response resources can come into position to help. If only 1% of the people in Redlands were impacted and needed our assistance here, that alone would overwhelm the emergency capability of our community. So you need to be able to help yourselves, help each other, and be prepared to hold on for that initial period of time until the resources can be brought to bear on our environment.
If you were to return to Haiti, what would you most want to take back to the people there?
Gosh, everything. They need everything. The citizens of Haiti have virtually nothing. I can tell you, I saw family after family in front of collapsed homes where they had essentially turned their front yard into their new living room, and they'd stacked boxes or cinder blocks and were making the best of a situation where they were tending to each other's personal needs and combing each other's hair and washing clothes and trying to make the best of things and nurturing their children. You could see the families trying to keep the children calm as they could. It's an impoverished country to a level that I didn't fully recognize until I was there, and I'm hopeful that the United States and other countries will continue to dig deep to try to help Haiti move past this.
Of all the things you witnessed there, what was the one thing that affected you the most?
I think that probably the most notable incident for me was the loading of several buses with orphans, and the cute, beautiful young children being led, by the hand by clearly people that weren't their parents, onto a bus to be transported to different places. That really still sits with me, that those children are facing such a huge challenge, and I'm hopeful that at the end of this they'll be better off, and it'll be end up being a positive, a silver lining to a very dark cloud.